Hey, hello everybody. How y'all doing? Um, boy, I told you guys I was gonna come on at 8. Running a little late today. Got off a little late, of course. Still kind of, getting finished up for the Christmas season. Y'all see my little earrings? I got on mixed back earrings. Lost my favorite today, so I said, I'm gonna do something a little different. But I wanted to come to you guys and talk about something really important and something that I feel that we need to really think about. And the topic tonight, I did put it on my Facebook page earlier, that we are going to start talking about some real life changing issues. And tonight, I really wanted to talk about why do we, as parents, encourage our children to go to the service, the armed forces, the Navy, Air Force, Marines, I don't know, Marine Corps, I don't know, whatever else services there are. Why do we as parents, or why do we as individuals or black people encourage our children to serve a country that don't like them? I'm going to wait for a few more people to come in. Like and share. Like and share and let people know that we're here. And we're doing a live now. Just want people to just come on in, and I want us to talk. I want, maybe I'm not understanding why. So now I just want you guys who have sent your children to the service and who've encouraged your children to go to the service. I want you guys to let me know, help me to understand why. Why did you encourage your children to go to serve a country that don't even like them? I hate these earrings. I don't like it like this. I'm gonna take it off. I'm sorry. Why did we encourage our children to sign up for service to go and fight for a country that don't like them? Now, that's killing them big time. Um, why is that important? For us to feel so important to fight for a country that can't stand you, that hates your guts. Okay. Um, That's the question of tonight, and I want somebody to help me to understand what's the big deal. Um, why do we do this? We are so ready to protect. We are so ready to for white folks. Okay, they're not sending their children to service. Affect you. You guys remember, I'm just trying to just trying to give you guys a little time to come. Real upset about this because he kind of, a friend of mine and I were kind of talking about it, and he was trying to convince me that it was a really good thing that our children went to the service, And my thing was, well, it's a good thing, but not for us. You know, we try to fight everybody's battle for everybody except us. It's things that we as black people need to be doing that we're not doing. Okay. It's things that it's these businesses that we need to be taking care of now that we're not. So my thing is, what is it going to take for us to get it together? What's it going to take for us to get our heads in the game and understand what it is that we need to do, and start doing it? I'm just trying to understand the bigger picture here, and I don't think I understand the bigger picture. I'm not understanding what's really going on, and I just need some help with this. Um, I have just put the question out there, and I did tell people that I was coming on here, and I wanted a group of people to come on just so we can kind of talk about some things, just so we can find out why is it so important for us to send our children to the service. Okay, the senators aren't sending theirs, the Congress aren't sending theirs, the President Trump didn't go himself, his children didn't go, but I hear recruiters saying all the time, "Hey, we want you to fight for democracy of this country." And I had a young man that was telling me a story about how his recruiter had recruited him, and the recruiter told him that he wouldn't have to go to service. And he said that, he scored high on his test and he was so smart and he was so much more smarter than his friends. And his friends, would probably have to go to war and they would have to fight. And they would, but him, he wouldn't have to worry about going to war. He wouldn't have to worry about fighting because of his grade. Because of, I guess, he scored a certain grade, but he was going to the army. So what does the army do? They go to war. So I guess the recruiter told him that he wasn't going to have to go. He said 2 years later, guess what? He was in Afghanistan with that rifle over his shoulder marching, and he was fighting for his life. So he felt that he had been lied to. And I think that's what a lot of recruiters are doing now. They are lying to our children and telling them that they don't have to go to the service. But trust me, you're going because ain't nobody else going to the service. You may have a poor wife going, but a lot of black folks go. And I remember when my daughters were graduating from college, Korea in particular, um, a recruiter called, and I raised my children. I sung a song, "Do not touch the service, do not go to the service." That was my song. That was mine. You don't fight for a country that can't protect you. You don't fight for a country that you can't even get a job, a qualified job, paying more than $8 an hour. You can't fight for a country that's totally disrespecting you. You can't fight for a country that won't teach you your history. You can't fight for a country that don't care about you. When they start showing you a little love, and when they start protecting you, and when they stop killing you, and when they stop putting drugs in our neighborhood, when they stop with the unemployment rate among black people is at 48%, it's really super high. And to me, that's an issue. Okay, and it's 58% or 48%, if I'm not mistaken, but we're the number one top people that go to the service. So if we're going to the service, what are you doing for me? I remember seeing a movie where this young man had went over and fought in the war, and it was during slavery time, and I guess they found out that he was dating, he was in Germany, and they had sent him home, all the way came home from Germany, and this was the real big service. And he came back to the South, of course, and he got off the bus. First he got off the bus and went into a store, and one of the guys, one of the little racist policemen in that city, was coming in his store. So he was trying to get up the door, so he continued walking, kind of bumping me. I'm thinking, "No, he ain't me." And the police looked at him and, boy, blah, blah, blah. But he took his uniform, he took his uniform off. So to me, that was respect. To me, if you have your service uniform, I'm going to give you the utmost respect because you had the nerve or the audacity or you had the gall to go and fight the war. So guess what? I'm going to give you the utmost respect. But still, that wasn't enough for that man. That man disrespected that black boy and called him, "You boy, you that went to the service and you think you all of this and you think that and that." I mean, he totally disrespected that young man. And then, but at the end of the movie, he ended up like almost killing this young man because he found out he had slept with a white girl in Germany.
And you know, back in the day, you know, you know, like or whatever, but they can't them up now. You know, I guess they make it up for lost time. Huh? That's all our men would play and men want now, or right women, which is so sad because um, what's wrong with your own? You know, God never intended on us with Tamina. He never intended on us get with these white women and men with them. And he told you not to. But what do we do? Because God said don't, then we do. God said leave her alone, so we go. God said change her life. You know, get busy with white women because we think we're off limits. But my community is so sad because we have totally lost focus with our own. We have totally lost focus with our own women's needs. And every time I talk about that, that's going to be a topic I was going to because I think it's time to separation between the black man and black woman here. And I think we have to start doing that. But we don't even start, you know, do the work. As much as it takes for us to do the work and heal of our community and heal of our culture so that we can move forward and be the God that He has created us to be. It's so sad that we have been sold out on every level. And so we have to pray for us to be God to heal our hearts. I think right now we have gotten so lost in the churches was meant to come put us back on track, but we went got into that, and now a couple of y'all that people say preach it to y'all, what did they teach you? Who you are? Who you are? You know, they're so busy, you know, preaching prosperity and all this other stuff, and it's so sad because they're not preaching healing, they're not preaching truth, they're not preaching about the pagan holidays, and they're not teaching about how we need to heal and how men need to heal and the women, the black women need to heal. It's so much that the community is lacking and how the father may be needed for their sons and the mom may be needed for the daughters because the mom keeps willing probably willing and needing to push the boys kind of be husbands and fathers, and they also teach the little girls and they show the little girls what kind of men they want later, and the moms show the little boys what kind of women they want later. But that's not happening in the black community, and that's not happening. That's not the issue. The issue isn't the white community. The issue is our community. And I wish that we can get to the point where we are honest with ourselves and honest with our mom and ourselves and being honest to really tackle some big time problems and issues that need to be tackled in our community, and we're not doing that. We are not ready for that fight. We're not ready to talk honest. We're not ready to be honest. We're not ready to handle those real tough issues without getting our feelings hurt or without being so sensitive about the issues. And it's time for us to really talk about the issues and stop being so sensitive so that we can really deal with our culture and deal with us. So that's going to be a conversation next week. And we are going to talk about black men in relationships. What will it take for us to get out of the house? What will it take for us to get to the point where we're protecting each other instead of being in our own homes and being two. So my topic tonight is, you know, why
and we kept asking Bill to help me to coach Israel. And he said, "No, I can't do it." He said, "But I'll show you, we can introduce them to them." We can't first, he said, we can't personalize his dress, which is not his dress, which is you. And all you have to do is present sin to them. And when they do it, then that will curse, that will bring curses on Israel. You know, that's the sad part about it, because that's what society has done now. Society has introduced us to homosexuality, introduced us to same-sex marriage, introduced us to a lot of drugs, and introduced us to a lot of stuff. And a lot of stuff God has told us not to do. He told us not to mix and mingle, not to marry other cultures, and that's what we've done. We're mixing, we're mingling, we're marrying other people, other cultures, and we're not holding true to what God told us not to do. And the reason why we're being punished, or we were punished, was for doing the same thing that we're doing now. But this is where the church came in at, and this is what the church didn't do. The church didn't show us or didn't teach us why we were being punished. So we've just continued on doing the same stuff over and over, and not been taught why we're being cursed. So it's almost like we're still sinning and don't know why. So we just keep doing the same sin, and then we want y'all to come and and kind of protect, or we want him to come and rescue us, but we're not doing what we need to do. Um, we've not done our part. Okay, so how do we get him? How do we face all of this? What do we do about all of this? We have to be honest and true, and we have to start teaching our children. We have to start teaching our children how to stand and how to stand on what they believe in. We have to start teaching our children how to be true to themselves. I saw a story, and I talked about this the last time I was on, and it was about the young boy who the referee told him he couldn't practice, he couldn't uh, wrestle. And he was a wrestler, and he was getting ready to do a game. He was in a wrestling match, and the referee told him that if he didn't cut his hair, then he was going to have to forfeit the game. And that right there, to me, and a couple people asked me my opinion about it, and I said, you know what, to me that was a parenting issue, because he wasn't taught how to stand. He wasn't taught on how to stand on what he believed in. He wasn't taught that if this is something you really believe in, a game is not important. You don't give up your beliefs. You don't give up what you really believe in. You don't buckle. You don't compromise for somebody else to look good. You don't compromise if it makes you feel uncomfortable. You stand in your belief respectfully, and you stand. And I would have told him, hey, you can have this game. I'm not cutting my hair. You can do what you want. I'm not, okay, you don't want me to wrestle. You want me to forfeit, because I'm not cutting my hair. And that right there would have showed that referee that this kid is not, he's not a pushover, and it's time for us to parent, to do the right thing and to teach our children what we're supposed to be teaching our children. And we're not doing that. We're so busy working, and we're so busy doing our other stuff, that we're not really teaching our children how to stand, and how to be held accountable. You know what I'm saying? I guess that's what I'm trying to say. It's that it just really upset me how that young man was humiliated. And he was humiliated because he didn't understand what he believed in. But like I said, I really, I think it's a parenting is everything. If you have bad childhood, a lot of times you're going to have a bad life. Okay, everything starts as a child. Everything starts in the home. Everything starts when you're young. Okay, and people don't understand how important it is to parent when your kids are young, and to pour it in. They're like empty sponges. If you don't pour into them, they're not going to get it. And some parents think, well, I won't teach that because they may not never need that. But what if they do and it's not there? So you're supposed to teach your children how to handle. You're teaching them for tomorrow. We're starting young, like in the birth, in the womb. When they come out, you teach them how to hold their bottle. You teach them how to, you teach them how to eat. You teach them how to walk. You teach them how to talk. You teach them. That's what it starts with the parents. And if the parents are jacked up, then the kids will be jacked up. And a lot of us need some counseling. We need help. So we're having children
And we're passing that stuff right down to our kids. And then you wonder, what's wrong with my child? But if you're not whole, how are you going to have a whole child if you're not whole? So this is why it's so important for us to be whole as adults in order for us to be whole, for us, in order for our children to be whole. We can't be half of half of nothing and want to be a whole of anything. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. So my thing is, I really want us to stop sending our sons to service. Stop telling them that this world, this country need them. Democracy needs them. This country doesn't need our children. They need the Congress children. They need the senators' children. They need Trump's children or grandchildren or his son or whoever. They don't need our children. Stop sending your children to the service. That's nothing. It's nothing good in there. Um, I was talking to a young lady earlier today at work, and she was saying that she was in service and she wanted to be a dental assistant, I think it was, and I guess the man told her that she had to be in there 8 years in order, I guess they go by what you're worth now. I don't know what that, I thought you sign on years. And she said something about they sign on what you're worth, what they think you're worth. I'm like, well, how does that come across 8 years? How does that tell you what you're worth? I guess they stopped doing the 4 years because the 4 years everybody was getting in there and finding out what it was, and they was leaving after 4 years, so they was, getting hard up for people. But she did come out on the medical leave. But she was saying that they signed her up for 8 years. And I'm like, what happened to the 4 years here? And when we were in school, it was 4 years, and it was 4 years, and 4 years, and 4 years, and then you were, waiting, able to retire after 20 years. But honey, she said no. She had to do 8 years, which was kind of, weird. I guess, they just doing some different things. But she said she wanted to be a dental assistant, and that's why she went in the first place because they was gonna pay for education. Find out she had to do so many years first before she could even go to school, and then it is reimbursement or something. It's just really, really crazy. Some of the stuff that they're not being told, and they're going into the service thinking one thing, and then they're being duped and thinking it's one thing. It's not what the person told them, but they're in there now. So you signed a contract for 8 years, but this recruiter told you one thing to get you in, and then it's something totally different. So you be very careful. Um, I just have an issue with that service thing, um, going to the service um, and then the police are, at an all-time high of killing black folks, but their own are turning on them now. I've seen probably in the last, 2 months, maybe about 4 or 5 state troopers have died, and I think that their own are turning on them. Um, they've killed us so much. Now their own are, shooting them. They won't shoot them. They won't kill them. So they're getting shot. They're, the white people are shooting the state troopers or shooting the police officers because they're so apt to shoot us, and they don't shoot them because, like I keep telling you, these are slave catchers. We gotta understand we are they've just changed their name, but the job is still slave catching, and this is why things are the way it is among the black community. So my thing is, until they learn to respect you, stop sending your children to the service. Just like I was telling black folks, I said, y'all, the only way that we're gonna get respect, um, the okay, my hand is not on the. I'm sorry, I'm just trying to make sure my hand is not on the voice thing. Hold on, you guys. Okay, I'm sorry. I had to see. I'm sorry, I turned you all upside down. Um, man, I look at me on the internet. I'm watching how to turn the phone all upside down. I was making sure that I wasn't blocking the voice, the volume thingy. But it's just so amazing, and I wasn't gonna be on here long. I just wanted some people to come on, just so that you guys can help me to understand why you are sending your children to the service, and maybe you guys can have
This was a lady that was connected to the Michael Brown um, activist. She was an activist in St. Louis. Was yeah, St. Louis, and she was an activist and just lost her son. And I am calling all men from St. Louis to, and her name is Melissa McKenzie. Her son's name was Jarwin Darby. No, wait a minute. Oh God. Oh my Lord. Oh God. I'm gonna have to get on here and find out what her son's name was. Um, but he was hung, and she found him in her backyard, and I just couldn't imagine. But I am calling all men that's in that St. Louis area that can help this young woman, that can patrol, that can protect, that can stand guard, because now they are kind of terrorizing her again now. They were terrorizing her before they killed her son, and she has two sons, and they're terrorizing her again. So I am making a plea to all of the men that's in St. Louis to get on the YouTube or Facebook and look up Melissa McKinney, McKennies, McKinney's, and get with this young lady. And you guys, our men have to come back together and protect. Our men have to come back and get back to business with black women and protect. Her husband is there and he can do it, but he's only one person and he does work. So I am just coming to a plead with men that's in St. Louis area. If you can help this young lady, and maybe three or four, two at a time, okay, can protect. Um, two at a time in the mornings, two at a time, 3 to 11s, and two at a time, 11 to 7. Just we need some active protection, and because I think once they understand that she is not in this alone, that she has help, and help is on the way, that they'll stop harassing her. I really believe that. I really believe that. And I think it's time for us to as black people to rise up and let them know that we're not going to allow you to treat us any kind of way anymore. We are here, and we're not punks. We weren't punks in the kingdom when we weren't in the kingdom. We weren't not punks now. We are not going to allow them to keep on harassing us and keep on terrorizing us. And that's what they're doing. They're terrorizing her now. Because they did take her one son and hung him. But that's just crazy. Who does that? Who thinks like that? This world is so evil now, and I think that's a lot of why Yah didn't want us to mix and mingle, because he said Esau I hate and Jacob I love, and it was because of Esau's heart. Esau's heart is so bad, and it's so nasty and negative, that we have to get to a point where we are not going to allow Esau to bully us. And that's what white folk are doing. They're bullying us really bad. And my question is to us, when are we going to get tired? When are we going to get tired of them bullying us? When are we going to stand up to them? When are we going to get to the point where we're tired and we start doing, fighting back? There was a police officer that came into a neighborhood and he was trying to arrest a young man. And black folk in that neighborhood rose up against him. He was the only one. He thought he was going to come in that neighborhood and run some things. Then people ran his behind up out of there. No, it is time for us as black folk to stand up for ourselves and stand up for truth and stand up and be accounted for. They don't even have any respect for us because they think we're so weak, because we're so passive and we're so forgiving and we're so what's my song? Kumbaya. Okay, we're singing Kumbaya instead of us really staring them in the face and be like, you ain't finna do that. We're not doing that. We're not taking that. We're not gonna have that. You need to take that on crossway somewhere and handle your business over there. You're not doing that here. We have to start speaking up for ourselves, and until we start speaking up for ourselves, nothing is going to change. Just like I told black folk, I say, y'all hold your money for Christmas. Don't spend a whole lot of money for Christmas. If you, yeah, I know you got to go to the grocery store, get a few things, go to the grocery store, but don't spend up your whole taxes. Tax season is coming. Hold your taxes. I guarantee you, if we hold our money, we're not boycotting, we're not marching, okay? We are boycotting until things get better. If we hold our money and hold our taxes, tax season coming, Y'all gonna have 4, 5,000, $10,000. Hold that money for the next 3 or 4 months. I'm telling you, I guarantee you change will come. I guarantee you will see some changes. I guarantee you. I guarantee you the only two ways to get to white folk, only two ways to get to white folk, and that's um, through their pockets and us running for office. Okay. But like I said, I wasn't trying to be on here long. I wanted for people to come on here and kind of help me to understand why are you sending your sons and your daughters to the armed services to fight for a country you don't even. I don't even think we thought about that. I don't think I think so many people went in and it's like a generational thing. So dad went in, daughters go in, sons go in, cousins go in because Uncle Jack went in or Auntie Jackie went in. But now it's time for us to understand that that's not a place for us. You know, especially where things are going. That's not a place for us right now. And we have to start thinking twice about joining the service. We have to start thinking about twice about protecting a land that's not yours. It's not even your land. Well, I'm not gonna say it's not yours. We were here first, so it is ours, but it was taken. But we have got to stop fighting for and protecting people that can't stand you. They don't like you. They don't like us. And ain't nothing we can do about it. They call police on us every day. I heard about this young 31-year-old guy who happened to. I'm Excuse me, you guys. I'm so tired. I'm so sorry. But the 31-year-old that this little 1-year-old was walking with his mom or her mom, his mom, and the 31-year-old came up and kicked the 1-year-old in the back, and the 1-year-old hit the floor, and the mom looked, but she didn't understand it. She's like, "What in the world's going on?" And then the man ran. But you had some shoppers that was there that kind of ran after the man to bring him back, kind of tackled him until the police came. But the mom was so, I'm just like, you better be glad that wasn't mine. You kicked him, you want to have him crazy if you want you to lost that little leg. But my thing is, we don't demand justice. We don't demand equality. We don't demand freedom. We don't demand people to treat us because you have so many lawsuits that need to be filed by attorneys, and you have black attorneys that won't even touch some of these cases. And that's the sad part about it because that's what you went to school for to protect your people. You see stuff is out of order, but they won't even protect. It's hard for us to file a lawsuit. It's very hard for us to file a lawsuit. Um, but with that said, you guys, I did not want to be on here all night. I was just coming just so we can just, powwow around and maybe have a couple minutes to just to understand and maybe with the comments I can share, get some comments, and you guys do some comments and I'll answer the comments. But I just, my thing is about us joining the service. I just don't think that that's a place where we need to be. That's not something that we need to do. It's not something that's for us. We're fighting for a country, and this is not your country. They don't even consider us as U.S. citizens. So that's um, the sad part about it is you're fighting for a country that don't even consider you a U.S. citizen. Um, there's a memorandum 46 I want you guys to read, and you'll really understand. And there's a lady, um, Joy Geyer, Guy or something like that. Joy is her first name, and she talks about why minorities or why black people act the way they do. I want you guys to look her up. Why do black people act the way they do? And I really want you guys to look that up. And I want you guys to look at it and watch it. It's really super long, but hey, yes, thank you so much. Yes, that's her name. And she talks about, thank you, Maurice. Her name is Joy, Mcgruy. Yes. And she talks about why black people act the way they do. And it is so amazing. I love it. And I think a lot of us need to watch it. I think a lot of us need um, just watch it and share it. Watch it and share. Pull it up on YouTube and watch it and share it with your family members. Put it on Facebook and share it, and that will help you to understand why we act the way we act. We are acting the way that they have taught us to act. We're acting the way that Massa taught us to. And people say, well, that's been so long ago. But it's hard to not to be enslaved for 400 years or more and not come out acting a fool. It's hard to not to have some type of residue. I remember, I remember way back in the day, Big Mama. Okay, Big Mama would clown and whoop everybody. She'd have a bad day one day and just beat up everybody, and then we just made an excuse why Big Mama was crazy. Okay, and yes, it's a generational thing. You're right. You're right, and it is Maurice says post traumatic slave syndrome. I don't have my glasses. I don't want to put them on because they glare so bad in the camera. But yeah, she talked about that post traumatic stress and all that. I put my glasses on so I could see Maurice. I couldn't see without them because they glare so bad on the camera. I'm gonna take them off, but yeah. So we have to understand that we look at each other and we thinking, man, why we act so crazy? But you have to understand this is behavior. We treat each other the way they have treated us, and you know how your child, you'll spank them and they'll spank their dog. That's the same way we treat each other the way they taught us how, and then we look at it and then they'll tell us why y'all act like that. They want to look at us like we crazy when they did it to us in the first place. Yes, they did it to us in the first place. Why? It's passed. Yes, it is passed down from generation to generation, and it's so sad because we made excuses why Big Mama was acting a crazy a fool. We made excuses. We didn't give Big Mama any help, and I think that's what the churches were for. The churches were supposed to get us some help. We were supposed to do counseling. We were supposed to get help for all of the atrocities that was done to us in slavery, but nobody. We didn't get any help. We just kept on acting crazy, and we still acting crazy today, and still not getting any help. But people look at us like we crazy, and it's like, well, Germany. I remember somebody said that America asked Hitler why he was treating the Jews, the fake Jews, the way he was treating them. He said, "I'm treating them the way that you guys treat the blacks in your country." So it was a known fact that it was a known fact, and it's still known today that we're being treated bad. And this is why I come again and say, why are we sending our young boys and why are we sending our children to serve a country in the armed forces? And this country don't even like us. I've been trying to get feedback. I want you guys to help me to understand. I know somebody said, well, Cassie, this is the way, some poor kids and some kids are poor and they don't have this, that, and the other. I'm like, well, guess what? I'd rather for them to train to get their own. If you can set up and do car washes, or if you can go into somebody's house and clean somebody's house, or I'd rather for you to set your own business up than you to go and fight for a country that can't stand your guts. Every chance they get, they cussing, they're disrespecting you, they're killing you they won't employ you. I'm just getting to a place where the Mexican to get a job before you can. But you're going to fight for, well, how many Mexicans are in the service? Exactly. Yep. This is what I keep telling them. We as black folk have to get our minds wrapped around truth now. We have to get to the place where we're understanding what's going on now and not being so foolish. We're still making excuses. And I don't think we even understand that, how many people have been lynched within the last 6 months? Or let's try a year. I think we've had close to seven people. It's three children and like 4 or 5 adults. Okay, so that's like seven people already that's been lynched. And we're not even bringing attention to that. Why? Because they said, oh, somebody was found by a tree. What? With their pants pulled down. We already know ain't no black folk lynching themselves. Ain't no black folk gonna lynch themselves. That's the worst way to die. And how we as black folk gonna lynch her? How we gonna do that to ourselves and then pull our roll our pants down and hang on the tree? Come on, you guys. That don't even make no sense. We have got to do better. We have got to do better. Yes. 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 We have got. You are so right. But guess what? We keep remember back in the day, Maurice, when our children we went to school, we went to high school, and we took up trades. Remember? Because I remember we were going for hair, we were going for plumbing, we were going for electrician, we were going for computer. We was going. I mean, back in what, '80s, '90s, we were going to school for trades. We came out with a trade in our hand. And that right there, we would get into our own business and take that trade, and we worked that trade. And you know what the white folk did? They cut it out. They took those trades away from us because we were having our own business, and they saw that it was too successful. So they took the trades out of schools, and now they don't teach us to get trades. They don't teach us how to have our own business. And our thing is, we have to get to the point where we're teaching our own children. We need to take our children out of these schools because we have given our children over to the enemy, and we're allowing our enemies to teach our children. Whose idea was that? I mean, I know what Martin Luther King said, but that was the craziest idea, to come together and put our children in these schools. And then you turn around and sit in a restaurant with somebody that didn't even like you and you ate their food. Are you crazy? Do you not know what they did to that food back here in the back? It's just, I don't even want to think about it. But they sat at the counter wanting to somebody to feed them that didn't even like you. I don't even want to eat at somebody's house who don't like me now. Why would I want to go to your restaurant? Okay, even now, we have so many issues coming up, and people are not ready to see it. People are not ready to face it. People still act like they can't believe that white folk don't like them, but they're showing you every single day. They are showing you, we can't stand y'all Negroes. Get out. Okay, remember the movie Get Out? Okay, that dude was trying to tell that dude get out. He thought he was trying to beat up on him or something. But we act like that dude in the head, a deer with caught in the headlights. We just sit there looking crazy. No, get out. Take your children out of these schools. Come from among these devils. They don't like you. They don't mean you no good. But we cannot convince black folk that white folk don't like them. Now, if I was white telling y'all that, this page would be full. But because I'm black, trying to help and trying to educate black folk, can't even get people. They probably sitting at home watching the Empire right now. Okay, I don't know if Empire's on or not, but I'm just saying they rather watch the Housewives. Yes, I'm trying to see get out. Great example of how we need to. Yes, it because guess what? You know what? Get Out is a true story. I don't care what nobody says. They are taking your organs. Yes, they are. And a man was saying today how he got a heart, and I said to myself, "Whose heart did you take? Whose heart is that? Is somebody black heart? Okay, you don't want to be around black folk, but you will take our organs. The dumb organs worth a lot of money, honey. Them melanated organs are worth a lot of money. Okay, y'all still stop putting your on your driver's license that you're gonna be organ donors too. Yes, and they have been for years. But Maurice, this is the first time it's ever been like really come to the light. They've been doing it for a long time. They did it in slavery. Remember one man was talking about they took one of the slaves' teeth out and made teeth for the massa. Okay, so they probably pulled them teeth with that man alive. He wasn't there with no teeth. They took them teeth. Yes, it is. Hundreds of dollars. Yes, per gram. Yes, that's true. But guess what? A lot of black folk don't know this because we're not being educated. This is why it's so important for us to be educated, you guys. This is why I come on and I try to talk about issues that it is so much to talk about. And I keep going on a little bit. I hit a little bit of this and I hit a little bit of this because there's so much we need to talk about. Just like I keep telling people, stop going by yourselves. Always travel groups, you guys, because right now, and I'm telling you, when you got some white boys coming in, your spirit say something wrong, y'all better stop letting these white folk walk up on you. Y'all let them get too close. When I'm out, I'm looking. My husband say, you did, I'm looking. I'm always looking behind me. And if one come and walk behind, I'm looking, I'm following him with my eyes because I want to know where he going. We got to do better, you guys, as far as get our mind. We got to change our mindset. I don't know what it's going to take for us to get to the place where we're changing our mindset and knowing that they don't like you. I don't know what it's going to take for us to understand this. We still trying to be friends. We still trying to live among them. I'm telling you, Martin Luther King, that was the worst thing we could have ever did was to come together with them. I have totally believed this from the beginning. We had businesses, we had hospitals, we had communities, over 200 communities before Martin Luther King went into that meeting, and he came out the meeting, and we had nothing. We had businesses, we had bus stations, we had cabs, we had hospitals, we had homes, we had community. And when he came out the meeting, we had nothing. Absolutely lost everything. Yes, we came together with them. Yes, our children went to school with them, but they were treated like dogs. Why would you want your child to go to school with people that didn't know how to treat you? You could imagine how they did your children. Okay? And then to go in a restaurant and to eat behind them, come on, you guys. We totally that was the worst thing we could have ever did. We lost absolutely everything. And I'm trying to read some more comments here. Um, yes, we yeah, we have to start. We really need to start educating our own children. Homeschooling. I know Michi X talks about this, and that's Fly Nubian. I like to watch her and Vicky Diller. Okay, I love to watch them. Props up to those women. But she really talked about homeschooling, and she homeschools her children, and I think her son talked. And we're gonna get into them vaccinations too. You guys stop vaccinating your children. I'm telling you. They had this remember the HPV that came out, and he was talking about girls that had um, that had STDs or whatever, and they wanted to start vaccinating our girls with HPV. Y'all know what that was? They were sterilizing our babies, and people didn't even understand. They were going in, taking their children in, because they wanted the teenagers. Remember, they wanted to get the teenagers and vaccinate them, and with the HPV, if I'm not mistaken, and that's what they were vaccinating our children. Yep. And also, you had to understand they're doing some vaccinating now in Africa. Okay, they've gone back to that, and HPV. You're right. They started vaccinating our children with, and you remember Ebola? You know it's back now, right? It's big time in the Congo. They said them folks dying like flies over there, and one white doctor came back, and he was contaminated. Do you not know that man ain't contaminated no more? They didn't gave him that virus, that little they've given him a shot, and now he's fine. But you won't send the shot over there to the Congo, because that's they keep on um, giving. They keep going over there vaccinating them, and I don't know why they don't, have not learned when the white folk come into the Congo or wherever. When they start coming in Africa, people need to run, because you know what they bring in death with them. I don't know why we have not learned that. I don't understand why Africans and black folk, the Israelites, still have not learned that these white folk don't mean you no good. We got to get it together, get your mindsets right, and understand. Once you understand and get your minds renewed, what's really going on, I think we'll rise up and start standing up for each other. We are a brother's keeper, and I wish we could understand that. It is unbelievably sad. It is terrible. I don't understand. I don't know what it's going to take for us to get it. I don't know what we're going to have to do to know that it is time for us to rise up. It's almost like we have to be given permission. Okay. Okay, you guys, if we need to be given permission, I'm going to give you permission to rise up. Let's my men. Okay. I love my men. I love me some black men. And I know you guys I know you guys have had it so rough. And I want to apologize for my men. I'm telling you, as a black woman, I am going to apologize for us women neglecting and jumping on the bandwagon of that. I don't know what you call it when when the women said we don't need a man, and that wasn't even our fight. Black women jumped on that thing. We was fine with our men. Black women jumped on that bandwagon, and white women jumped off. Black women still on it even to the day, because they'll say I don't need no man. I'd be like looking at them like they crazy, and I'd be trying to help the young girls out, and I'd be telling them, sweetheart, you do need a man. You can't do everything. Try raising them babies by yourself. You can't handle babies by yourself. Try raising them kids by yourself. Stop telling people you don't need a man. Yes, we have. We have truly neglected our men. And that is going to be a topic also. And I'm writing our topics down, because I'm gonna come back. I think every Thursday at 8, and we're gonna have different topics, and that's gonna be a topic about our men. We need to heal our relationships, okay? And it is so bad now that even if you watch TV, and I don't do a lot of TV, but you can see the commercials where you'll see, black men with white women. You'll see black women with white men, or you'll see black women by themselves, or you see, it, which is so sad, because we have to understand who's behind the media, who's behind the TV, who's behind all of this, and the Jews, the Khazarians, the fake Jews are, and they don't mean us any harm. They don't mean us any good. Everything negative. They always do stuff behind the scenes. I'm trying to read some comments, you guys. Hold on. Yes. Who is that? Miss G. Hey, Miss G. I'm glad you guys are here. Yes, and yes, we do need our men. We cannot do this by ourselves. And I'm telling you, I used to go and do a volunteer group at the detention centers for young girls, and I would always make sure I would help them to understand that yes, we do need our men. We cannot have these babies. We can't teach our boys how to be men. We can't teach our girls what kind of man they want or they need in their lives if they don't have one, if we don't have a positive male role around our boys or around our girls to help teach them and show them what kind of men they need in their lives. So men are very important. We cannot, and I do apologize for us even thinking that we could do without our men. We've lost our mind. And now our men are going to Becky and we mad about it, but we sent them out there. So you can't be mad about anything. We literally sent our men out there, and I do apologize. I mean, I'm telling you, this is a sad. It's so sad, and now we're like, come on back home, and they looking at us like, "Pfft, whatever, and they, moving forward with Becky, which is so sad. But this is what we've taught. This is what we've taught our men. So, what do you think that it's going to take for us? What do we need to do, Maurice, as women, to bring our men home? How about that? I'm gonna put that question to you, and I want to see what you type up. I need you to, because you are the man on here. Help us to understand what is it going to take, and what do you want to see your women do in order to bring you guys back home? What do we need to do? Okay, because I'm gonna tell you, we black women, we don't have anybody to fight for us. This is why we're going through what we're going through, and this is why that Chinese man slapped. Did you see when that Chinese man slapped that woman in the mouth and he walked away? Boy, I'm telling you, honey, that couldn't have been me. I'm telling you, I've always been a fighter, and I think I would have picked up something and I'd have. Ooh, Lord Jesus, I'm trying to be delivered. That right there would have been a fight. Okay, you gonna pop me in my mouth because I'm speaking and you mad and you don't want to hear it? No, you don't even pop your own woman in the mouth. Okay, so you tell me what's it gonna take? Men and women need to reconcile with one another. Yes, they do. Yes, but how? Tell me how. How can we do it? Where do we start? How? 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 I don't understand. A lot of women don't know how. They've been trained and they've not seen a man in their house. They've not seen a positive relationship. They don't even, I remember in my group when I went to detention center when I was teaching, these girls, and they were from ages 10 to 18. And I asked him, I said, if you were dating a guy and you walked in the house and you saw his mom being beat by her boyfriend in the kitchen, would you stop dating your young man? And a lot of them said no. I said, why? And they said, because he's not beating me. I said, not yet. I said, because of what he saw. Guess what? What Chris Brown saw was what he does. Okay, remember? That's all he said. Let me see. Oh, dang, I missed it. Did you see? Yes, I was just talking about that earlier. Yes, this is why we need our protection. Okay, Maurice, you said by realizing we are all we got. Yes, we have to put aside our. Yes, you're right. And I really hate it when I've seen a couple of YouTubers, black men, and they dog black women out so bad. It just bothers me so bad. I can't stand it. I cannot stand it. It bothers me so bad. And they be, I mean, just dogging black women out. And I'm like, this is exactly what white America want to see. They want to see you dogging your women out. They want to see you dogging black women out. They want to see you dogging your family. They want to see you a struggle. They want to see us bickering back and forth, because if we bickering back and forth, then they can do what they want to us. And where's our protection? Where's our help? Okay? And we are all we have. We are really all we have, Maurice. You have said a mouthful right there. But I don't think we realize that. We think the white folk going to come to our rescue. And they not coming. Who's coming? White churches won't come. Let's see. Yes, yes. It's time to change. But guess what? How are you going to change your mindset if you're not being taught how? That's what the churches was for, okay? That's what the churches was for. They were supposed to help us to change our mindset. But that's not even what they doing. They so busy collecting offerings that they can't even teach who you are. They won't even tell you that you're Israel. They won't even tell you that you're real Israelites. Read Deuteronomy 28. Look up Pastor Stephen Darby, and he has three videos that I've watched, and they're called they who we are, Negro Land, and they jacked us. Those are his three main videos that I watched Stephen Darby for about a year and a half, and his videos were off the chain. And I'm telling you, these three videos is Stephen Darby, Stephendarby, Stephen Darby. And if you guys got time, pull him up. And also, the School of the Hebrews, Omar. Call him Pastor Omar. He was good too. He talks about the Israelites and all that stuff. So I'm telling you, if you can pull those people up and really educate people and put them, download them on your Facebook, because I think we're waking up now. This is our year to wake up, and I'm not saying everything is going to be over, but we are beginning to see some things that's coming down the pike now, and it's turning the tides. Okay, so just be patient and just watch, because Yah is busy and He is meaning business. Let me see. Detoxify of all things. Yes, yes, yes. I think religion has done a job. Whew, my Jesus, on black folk. I'm telling you, I think religion has caused so many problems. But you have to understand where it all came from. The Roman Catholics, it came Lutheran, Methodist, Baptists, Muslims. All of it came from the Roman Catholics. Look it up. All of it, all of your religion came from them. That is the Roman Catholics are the whore of Babylon that God is talking about in Revelations. What is 12 or 17? One of those the chapters, and he talks about the whore of Babylon and the people who are fornicating with the whore. Okay, and he's talking about the different churches. Yes, it is. 2019 is, yeah. Yes, starting with, yes, yes, yes. You can see now that the tides are beginning to turn the later part of now. But you have to understand the year 2000, the year started in April. Our new year is in April. It's not in January, so you guys remember that. But I think the tides are starting to turn even now. And yes, the Catholics are a part of Catholicism, and you have to understand this. The reason that they can molest their little boys and get away with it is because that's part of their religion. The cross, remember how they do the cross, and you know how the people wear a lot of crosses and stuff. Look that up on YouTube. That has is nothing good about crosses, and people don't understand that because they see God, Yah, on the cross, or he wasn't even hung on the cross. He was, he wasn't even put on the cross. He was hung on the tree. But people don't understand that. Yes, it is. Yes, yes. In April. But people don't understand that. So we have to understand, you guys, that the Catholic churches are behind a lot of this, a lot of slavery, a lot of the Pope was the one that had the first slaves, who okayed the world to go into West Africa, into Nigeria, the Congo, and I know there's a few other places. I can't get them. I had them written down somewhere, but he okayed just in that area to pull is well the Israelites were to pull them and bring them to America. So a lot of slaves here are Israelites. And if you do your DNA, U1B1A is Israelite DNA. Shem is African. Shem is black folks, Israelites, and Ham is the Africans. If you guys, like I said, pull up Stephen Harvey, he talks a lot about that. And plus, your Zondervan dictionary talks about it also. It calls us the Negroes, which is the Israelites are the Negroes, but the African Hams are not. So a lot of people don't understand that it's all about your father's blood. If your father is an Israelite, even if he marries a white lady, then the children are Israelites. But if he's white and the woman is black, then your children are not Israelites. But people don't understand that. It's all about the dad's blood. So with this said, I did not mean to be on here. How are you guys? I just wanted to come in and we talked about Israelites. We didn't talked about some of everything, but my main topic was really understanding why we send our children to the armed services. That was really my topic for tonight. But we just kind of got into. I like to dialogue and talk about different things and not just stay on to one topic, because I think that thank you, but I think that we all have to really renew our minds. And this is why I throw so much stuff out there, because everything I say, you can back it up. I can back it up, or you can do research. I want you to research, and I don't want you to believe and take my word for anything. That's why I put stuff out there and put it out there a little bit so that you can do the research. And then next time we talk, you can come back and say, hey, I found out da da da, or I found out that's not true. But also, I do really want you guys, yes, yes, but I do want you guys not to forget Joy McGuire. Put her name down here again, Maurice, for me. And Joy, she talks about the way why black people are the way they are, and why they think the way they think. And I'm telling you, that woman is so amazing, and she really hit it on the nail. And people don't even understand that in the back in the day. they would allow our moms, or I mean our dads or our cousins or our uncles, to discipline us, okay, and sometimes to kill us. And right. No, and that's what but you have to understand. Yes, Joy, Dr. Joy McGruy. I want you guys to look her up, and I want you guys to look up her the speech that she had on why black people act the way they do. Is so important. And yes, Maurice, I am so glad that you went to the service, and so you could speak, you could speak on that service thing. I would not recommend anybody's child, black, going to the service. It wasn't worth it. What did you experience? What was some of the stuff, post traumatic, yeah, slave syndrome? Yeah. What was some of the things that you felt the service did? Um, was it what you thought it was going to be, Maurice, when you went? Because I know they probably told you, probably gave you a lot of hopes and dreams, and you probably came out with nothing, or probably came out with post. I don't know if you got pro. I'm not going to put that on you, but I'm just saying a lot of what you were promised, I bet you didn't get when you went to the service. Because one young man, he said he scored really high on his test, and the recruiter told him that he was so smart that he wasn't going to have to go to the war. And he said 2 years later, he was looking at Afghanistan. He was over there in Afghanistan fighting. And he said his recruiter lied to him. He didn't, none about what he told him was true. Um, Yes, yes, yes. I think it has a lot to do with police officers. You go into the academy, because I did go to the academy. I thought I wanted to be a police officer. I probably would have been dead, or I would have been so rebellious in there, I would have got fired, or because I'd have been telling everything, so I probably would have been dead. But anyway, I did go to the academy, and what they do, they break you down and then they rebuild you. I'm telling you, it was the worst. Everything. It was the worst thing I could have ever did with my life. And sergeants play my. Yes, they do. Yes, I believe that, because, like I said, I went to the academy, police academy, and I'm telling you, that was the worst part of my life. They had no integrity. And they taught us, and this is why I look at when they have weapons now and they shooting us and stuff. In the academy, when I went, they said we could not pull a gun if somebody didn't have a weapon. Say, for instance, a lot of guys now don't have weapons. We weren't allowed to pull our guns, and that was part of the academy. We could not. If they had scissors, we can do our baton. If they had a knife, then we could pull our gun. It was one weapon up. It wasn't ever a gun on knife on knife, or a baton on a knife. It was always a weapon up. So if they didn't have anything, then we couldn't even pull a gun. We'd have to use our spray, or we'd have to use the baton. But now if they had a knife, then we can go to our guns. And that's what we were taught in the academy. So all of this, what I'm seeing now, is just it. I don't know when it changed. I don't know when it changed in the academy, where now you can shoot somebody unarmed. Like, you shoot a 7-year old that's playing with a BB gun. You don't know the difference in a BB gun and a real gun, and this boy died. Even with the 7-year old whose house they went and raided, that 7-year old's house, her grandma's house, and she was laying on the couch sleep, and the police came in and shot the girl and killed her dead. I'm trying to read some of the. Okay, I got you. So you went in thinking that you were, what did you think you were going, oh, you were just doing it to get away? Is that what you're saying? Because I think I got married the first time to get away from my mom, to get away from my parents. But sometimes you jump out the fire, you jump out the pan into the fire. And when you went to that service, I bet you, you kind of felt like, oh my God, you didn't feel like you was growing as a person. Okay, I understand that. I do. I do. But I want us, as black people, to get to the place where we are not encouraging our children to go to the service. We're encouraging them to invest. We are encouraging them, and I'm glad. And I think we talked last time about the stock markets, and I had a guy friend that was going to teach me about the stock market, and I was going to actually put some money in. I'm like, oh Lord, thank you for it. Thank you for the stock market dropping before I put my money into it. Oh my God! But I had a friend that was going to teach me how, and that's what we were talking about. And one young lady came on here and said, "Well, isn't the stock market dropping?" And at the time, it was not. But yes, Yes, investing in their own business. You know what? A young man came up and he said, if we had saved our money for Christmas, and the people that spent $2,000 or spent $1,000 on Christmas, if 10 people, if 10 neighbors had a came together and put money together, we could have actually bought like a mall or bought something and put some black businesses into our communities, or come up with a community or start buying homes in one community so that we can establish our own communities. And I think that we do need to be separate. I'm big time on that separation. I don't know about you guys, and it's not has nothing to do with racism. It has everything to do with just being separate now, because we don't get any respect. Why do I want to live around somebody that don't like me or can't respect me? I have an issue with that. And we are still trying to beg them to be our friends. Yes, I do believe that. I really do believe that. I believe that if there's a guy, initiatives, and his name is Maurice Muhammad, and on YouTube, they're talking about a move, separation, going to Mississippi, and they're actually talking about this move. And you guys want to pull him up, and which is with the initiative media, and he's really talking about being separate. A lot of people, they don't understand him because they say yes. Oh, he is good. I like him. I like him. I like him. And I also did a couple of radio shows with him also. But I kind of, yeah. Not going to Mississippi, but I think he has a great idea. I think he is an amazing person. And I think he has the right idea. I really believe that we should have never, ever, ever came together with heathens, with devils. And I used to tell my husband, I said, I'm gonna tell you, them white folk, they are devil's children. They are the children of the devil. I believe that. I don't care what nobody tell me. I don't care. Those fallen angels, that is their children. Yes, he's been talking about. Also, don't forget, tomorrow, Saturday, from 4 to 5. It's gonna be from 4 to 6 his time, which is Central Time, but Eastern Time for our time. I'm trying not to cover up my voice. Eastern Time from 5 to 8. Join him on the initiatives on media. The initiative media. He's gonna be on Information Man tomorrow. Okay, and he's going to be on with the young man's Melissa McKinley, the one who found her son hanged in the backyard. She's going to be on the show with them tomorrow, and they're going to interview her. And they are doing some really great things with him and with her. She is looking for security for her, because they've started up. Not only did they get the first son, but now they're trying to threaten her with the second son of hanging, or not hanging him. I shouldn't even say that. I'm not going to say that. But they've been terrorizing her. Yes, it's from 5 to 8. 5 to 8, but it's from mom in Eastern time. He's in Tennessee. I'm in Eastern time. So Eastern time is going to be from 6 to 8, and from 5 to 7 in Central time. Okay, so if you guys can tune in, have time. It's going to be on the Information Man. They're going to interview Melissa McKinnis is her last name, and and I know on her page, look her page up, for Facebook, and she's got a GoFundMe. It's for her son, and they're raising money to resume his body. They resume. Okay, they're gonna, you know what I'm saying, you guys. They're going to, I don't want to say they're gonna exhume the body. Okay, there it is. Okay, they're gonna exhume his body and do another autopsy, because they don't feel that they got the right information from the first autopsy, and she really needs to move out of the house and really needs to move to another area. I think the initiative has offered for her to move with them. So I think some things are in the air for her. But if you have any cousins or any men out there that's in the St. Louis area, you guys look her up, because she needs some protection. And until our men take their rightful place, you guys, we cannot do this. I know I'm trying to read. I don't have my glasses on, so I'm kind of looking at the screen here. So you guys hold on for a minute. Yes. Okay, but yes, I was just trying to read some comments. So if you guys can join on the Information Man, they do have a GoFundMe. She really needs to get out of that area. And if you guys can manage to send $5 here, $2 here, $3, something, anything, every little bit helps. I don't care if it's a dollar. If you can do $1 a day, $1 a week, $1 or whatever, do something to help this sister out, you guys. Because she really needs to get out of that area. There is no way I would want to live in a house where my son was found in the backyard, and that's I just all kind of pain. Just it's just very sad of how they can get away with stuff and then you want us to fight for a country that do this to our children, and it's just that's not even the gist of it. That's not even the beginning of it. You have to understand the LGBT, LMNOP, QRXYZ. They're coming up with some of everything, so they already have an agenda. And even Stephen Darby talked about the agenda as far as turning our real men. Now I'm talking about straight men. They're going after our men and our children, and they are serious about it. And they're going after our children now, and they're really trying to feminize our men because they cannot reproduce, and they don't want us reproducing either. So that's why they're going after our men. Okay, so that's why we have to be very careful and continue teaching our children. Hold on, let me see. Missouri, that's one of the states. Really? Missouri is that bad? I did not know that. That's crazy. I mean, but in Missouri, part black. I mean, I didn't know that. I did not know that it was that bad there. But this woman. But you have to understand, you guys, that they had her and like what 2 or 3 other activists have died. Okay, they killed her son, but like two of the other activists, I think it was like 3 or 4 of them have died. Okay, either one was shot in the head, and he was placed in the car, and a bomb was thrown in the car. That was one, and then another one. I think the other dude was shot in the head also, and then they got so they're trying to get rid of. They're trying to quiet. Um, Okay, thank you. Okay, yeah, yeah, that's good, Maurice. But you have to understand, this thing is crazy, and either black people are either we're. And my thing, if we get together and show her support like we have never showed before, I guarantee you they'll back down because they're looking at us now and trying to see what we gonna do, and we're looking at them. But if we do what we need to do, you guys, as a whole, as a group, it's more of us than them. We shouldn't even be called ourselves minorities because we're not minorities. If you guys would look up the word minority, you would never call yourself a minority ever again. Somebody look that word up and put it in the book in the box here. What minority means? I'm telling you, if you knew what that word meant, you wouldn't even be calling yourself that. Somebody had told me what it means, and it's nothing good. Okay, we just nothing good. Okay, but y'all stop calling yourselves minority, and let's keep talking and keep chatting and keep our minds straight, you guys, because this is so important. It's good for us to talk and get stuff out and talk about stuff because this helps renew our minds right now. We don't even understand we are planting seeds right now with each other, and this is renewing our minds. But you know what? It's so sad how when you cannot get black folk to come together. And I was talking to Maurice Muhammad the other day, and his wife, his wife and I are really close, and her and I were talking to him, and I said, right now, we all need to get together as far as the media. We really need to get it together and come together, and the black media. And we really need to stand strong, you guys, like never before, because we need to protect this young woman. We are each other's keeper. We don't have anybody else coming in to the rescue to save black folk. We don't have anybody just coming in and saying, "Hey, y'all leaving black people alone. We're gonna fight for them." We don't have that. We are all we got. And you got us talking against each other and being rude against each other and cussing each other out and treating each other like dirt. And then we'll turn around and take up for Becky. Okay? Are we crazy or what? We done lost our mind. We have lost our mind. Hold on, I'm gonna show this. Cause I had to show it. Okay. Okay. Oh, okay, okay. I'm gonna look that up. I'm gonna look that up. Yeah, but also, we need. She does. Melissa McKinney. I'm gonna put her name on here. McKinney. Um, Mckennies. That's her name, you guys. If you look her up on Facebook, and she has a GoFundMe for her son. And like I said, check out the Information Man tomorrow. If you give me that much time, Information Man tomorrow. You can come on Information Man tomorrow, and they're gonna talk about the lady and talk about what happened as far as the young man and her son. Okay, they're gonna interview her, and we gotta keep this in the media, you guys. We have to keep this in the media. And let's not forget, just let her know that we are thinking about her and we're praying for her, and we got her back, and help is on the way. Help is on the way. But with that said, you guys, I did not mean to be on here this long. With that said, I am gonna end everything and we're done. And you guys have a great night, you guys. And thanks for joining. Like and share. And we'll be back probably next Thursday at 8 p.m. All right? Thanks again, you guys. I don't know how to cut this thing off. Ain't that crazy? Oh, geez.